Good morning, friends. It's good to be back at home. I think this little girl took me being gone the hardest. You don't realize how much you miss your people and your animals until you're gone. Oh, friends, this little girl here, Daisy May, is she is just the softest, sweetest dog I've ever had. She's just a suck. Hey, baby. Yeah, Daddy's home. Anyhow, let's start the video. Well, we're back at home and starting to get back into the swing of things. I took an extra day or two off from work, and we'll be back to work tomorrow. Daisy's running around. I love these events, friends. So much fun. It's hard to explain. I didn't understand for years. You know, Buckin would say, I want you to come to one of these events, and it just never worked out for me. And then I made it happen, right? These things like this, friends, you just got to make them happen. It's easy to say I don't have time or I can't go, but I will say these events just keep me going. Even just one event a year just keeps me fired up. I get to meeting you people out there in person. It's so neat. It's one thing to type messages back and forth with, usernames on a screen, and that's good too, and I do it every day. But to actually get to meet people out there is so neat. You don't realize how you've affected somebody until you meet them in person. So just thank you to everybody that came. And before we get going on Buckinstock Day 2, shout out to this truck. This thing, friends, it to some it may have been a risky proposition to drive this truck there. It's 30 years old. It's a 1996. It's almost 30 years old. This thing's solid. Everything works. The only thing that doesn't work on this is the electric door lock buttons. That's the only thing that does not work on this truck. Friends, let me tell you, this thing, 70 to 80 mile an hour, all the way there, all the way back. And I've said it before, this is a 355 geared truck. I bought it for a reason. I bought it so I could do that. Drive at speed limit or higher without revving this thing out. We did 22 to 2,300 miles there and back, 3,500 kilometers, friends. What a journey. Comfortably. No complaints. My mom said the same thing. This truck is so comfy. I could sit in this thing for 6 hours, friends, before I needed to get out. Yeah. What more can I say? The legendary 7.3. If you have a diesel truck, find an old slip tank like this. Make sure it's clean inside. We're stopping for fuel about every 6 hours. And this thing has 2 tanks. So yeah, about every 6 hours we would stop and fill up each tank and then just go. The other thing that was cool, I like my trucks, friends. I like all brands. There was 6-liter Fords there. There was LBZ Duramaxes. There was LLY Duramaxes. There was 24-valve Cumminses there. There was a V10 Ford. Brian's truck. I love trucks, and it's good to see you guys do. I saw, literally all the coolest trucks ever made were in the parking lot of Buckinstock. It's good to know we're all on the same wavelength. Anyways, friends, love this truck. The only thing is, I wish it was a crew cab. We'll see. I may have to add a crew cab truck to my fleet one of these days. But this truck's going nowhere. I love it, and I may end up buying another truck so I can redo this one. It needs body work bad, and I'm going to deck it. But anyhow, friends, shout out to this truck. 16 miles per gallon we got there and back as an average. Nothing wrong with that. We were pushing a 40 mile an hour headwind all the way home. Anyhow, Buckinstock Day 2. Let's do this. Morning, everybody. We are here in Indiana, in Dan's shop. Thanks for having us, buddy.
Absolutely.
So you bring saws 1,000 miles that run, and the minute you pull them out of your truck, they they don't run. So we gotta. I think we need some lube in this machine here. You got some lube, Dan?
Ooh.
We can use anything.
Wait, what's around here?
What's...
Do you think it's because of the fuel injected that it's fine?
Yeah.
It just compensates for it?
It compensates and says, okay, I like it
Smart
right
enough
here.
to know, yeah. Yeah.
Premium chain sharpening here. Check out all those corners that are knocked off.
That's why I came over.
Yeah.
The Tin Man knows premium when he sees it,
Exactly.
without actually seeing it.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah.
On the wood, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm bucking big wood, I'll probably and remember this isn't cutting the way I like it to. I like it back a bit. Halfway down they start really ripping the chain. But sometimes what I'll do, depending, and I'll check both sides. Sometimes one side's different. But see here, so that's actually quite a bit of material for a raker. That's quite a bit of material. So chain companies, they'll send them out safe, not grabby. They want your saw to cut. They don't want you stopping and jerking. And so this is EXL chain, and I've been running it a while, and I really like it. I've run them all, still and all that, and Husky. The thing with the Husky, those C85s and the C83s and all that, it's good chain. But if you look at the profile of a C85 chain, it's got a side beak on it. And you're not recreating that with a flat file. You're just not. It kind of comes up and it's got, almost looks like a little square grind, a little beak on it. So, but anyways, somebody's been using the soft setting. And what I like to do, actually, believe it or not, now that I've hit that, so this is hard, right? Yeah. So I'll just go over. Brand new chain, right? And I'll just blast it. Now, do you guys, anybody here do this stuff? Do you guys do this stuff? You know this sound?
Yeah. Yeah, it makes your feelings rattle.
Turn your file on a 45. Just cover the tooth and turn your file on a 45. And it minimizes it majorly. So, because I don't do this and then this. With rakers. With chains I do, but not with rakers. I'll hammer the raker gauge and I do it all one way. All one way. Just bring this back. Just check it. See, look at that. Isn't that interesting? This is a factory chain, right? So this is what I'm saying. These chains don't get cut and good till I like 3 filings in. Depending on what you hit or what you're doing. But this is hard. This is the hard setting. So I've already hit. I may have. That's actually interesting too. So maybe I'll have to take it to the soft setting. Into my hands. He just costs me a saw. And when we get pinched, we're in someone's money, right? You're not going to buck an 8-foot log on. You actually come in. You got right beside the bar. You pinch a guy out. You just loosen up.
Okay, I'm just going through the random footage. What you guys just saw there was the filing seminar. Buckin put on about 2 a day. I think it was about 20 people per seminar. They lined up stumps in a circle and put stump vices. You guys could bring your saws and file them. Justin Sizemore put his saws in there. I also had my saws. Hey, whoever followed my 630 Super Johnson on day 1, I hope you're watching, because that chain, That saw can be hard to file for because it's 66 cc's, and if you make a grabby chain, you don't want to pull it. That chain was perfect. So if you're wondering how your chain did, whoever filed that, you look at the video from last video, me running the red John's thread. Those cookies I was cutting were this wide, and that chain cut perfectly straight. So good job. Another thing that we did this weekend, you guys had me, Buckin, and others run your saws. I probably ran 50 to 100 different saws this weekend. Stock saws, ported saws. It was fun. There was one session we put in for 30 minutes. I think I was just running different saws. You guys would hand me your saw. You guys were kind of waiting in a line. And I ran some really nasty ported saws this weekend. So anyhow, let's jump in. Bucket got thrown an MS440, beautiful saw, and it was a little rich, so he tuned it and showed the fella that, you know, that it was a little too rich, put it in the wood, and then after that I'm going to jump back in because there's a saw coming. We got to talk about it. It's incredible.
But it's kind of dull, so
I'm going to interject one more time because I didn't want to do voiceovers. I want you guys to hear these saws because there were some good running saws there. The standout saw for me, there was two. Fella brought a 143 Dolmar, full wrap, velocity stack with like a pod filter on it. That thing was nuts. I have one and now I want to port it. But anyways, that Dolmar was incredible. The other one, Steel 064. You guys will see the first clip coming right after this. Buckin cuts one cookie with that, and you see him turn. He's looking at the guy that built it, and he's like, oh, yeah. I did the same thing, friends. I will pan over to the fellow that built it. He done a good job. I was so impressed by that saw that the first night, Friday night, when we went back to the house, I was talking about it. Bucket had seen me run it, and I said, buddy, you got to run that thing tomorrow. It's pretty nuts. So, anyhow, check this 064 out. Probably the most pristine 064 I've ever seen. And just amazing. Check this thing out and watch. He does one cookie, and you see him turn. He's looking at the guy that built it to give him the, you know, wow. Okay, friends, we're going to stop this video right there. There's lots more to come. We got falling demos and saws, lots of saws, and the trip home. But we're going to stop it right there. Thank you to everybody that came to the event and made the event happen. And thank you to everybody out there in YouTube land that's watching right now. Thanks for watching. Take her easy. Later.